Think Cuban food is something you only taste when the plate lands in front of you? Not even close. Some dishes announce themselves early with the smell of coffee and sugar turning to caramel. These are 20 Cuban foods you'll smell before you see, from Cafecito to Ropa Vieja. Number 20. Cafecito, sweet Cuban espresso. This smells like roasted coffee and whipped sugar turning into warm caramel, like the whole room just switched on. You catch it at a ventanita, at a bodega counter, or at home when a mocha pot starts that quiet bubbling. The giveaway is the espuma, made by beating sugar with the first concentrated drops until it turns pale and creamy. That tiny ritual thickens the aroma in the air. Small cups also became normal during coffee rationing, so sharing stayed baked in. Extra sweet or sweet and strong. Number 19. Tostada Cubana, Cuban toast with butter. This smells like Cuban bread, toasting and butter melting, warm and popcorn-like, the kind of aroma that makes morning feel possible. The crust crisps fast, the inside stays soft, and the butter slides into every crack like it belongs there. You smell it at home when the pan is doing serious quiet work, or at a cafe when the plate arrives and the steam speaks first. It is not a special occasion food, it is the weekday reset. People tear off corners, dunk, and start talking before sunrise too. Number 18. Pastelitos de Guayaba y queso, guava and cream cheese pastries. This smells like guava paste melting into flaky puff pastry. Sweet like fruit caramel with a tangy cream cheese edge, you usually smell it before you spot the bakery case, because the sugar bakes into layers and the guava turns sticky and jammy as it heats. Guava is abundant on the island, and the guava plus cheese pairing is a classic snack across Latin America. The pastelito pocket version was popularized in Miami, so the aroma carries both Cuba and diaspora. One whiff and you order, if you swore no. Number 17. Croquetas de Jamón, ham croquettes. This has the distinct aroma of toasted breadcrumbs, hot oil, and salty ham, the kind that pulls people into the kitchen for no reason. Cuban croquetas are extra comforting because the center is creamy, built on a bechamel-style base that turns soft as it heats. The idea traces back to France as a way to use leftovers, but Cuban bakeries and party tables made it their own. A real-world note. Too hot oil and crowded pans can make them burst. Comment bait, round or tube, which wins today? Number 16. Pan Cubano, Cuban bread. This smells like fresh baked wheat bread, yeasty in the center and lightly sweet at the crust, like the bakery has been awake since dawn. Cuban bread is made with yeast and a bit of lard, so it bakes up crisp outside and airy inside. A detail that gets mentioned a lot is the leaf laid over the dough as it rises, leaving a subtle signature. You smell it at the bakery door, then again in the car as the paper bag warms your whole ride. It starts with many meals. Number 15. Tostones, Plátanos verdes fritos, fried green plantains. This smells like hot oil and toasted green plantain, and the second fry is the giveaway. Plantains were brought through Spanish roots and became everyday comfort across the Caribbean. With tostones, slices fry once, get smashed, then go back in until crisp, so the aroma shifts from starchy to chip-like. You smell them at home when a side turns into a snack, or at a party when a tray lands and everyone starts pretending they will take only one. The smell begs for something garlicky nearby. No one stops. Number 14. Yuca con Mojo, cassava with garlic citrus sauce. This smells like garlic sizzling in oil with bright citrus cutting through, sharp enough to wake your appetite. The yuca itself is mild, a starchy root that gets boiled until tender, but the mojo is loud. Sautéed garlic, orange and lime, sometimes vinegar, plus cumin, oregano, and salt. Root vegetables show up often in Cuban cooking because they are practical and filling, and yuca became a go-to side for roast pork and stews. You smell it most when the sauce hits the hot yuca and the steam jumps. Number 13. Congrí or Moros y Cristianos, rice cooked with black beans. This smells like sofrito soaked into rice, with onion and garlic turning sweet, peppers warming up, and bay leaf settling in. Congrí is rice and black beans cooked together, so the aroma feels steady and complete, not two separate pots. The name is often explained as congrí, with gray, because the rice takes on a darker tint. It is also called Moros y Cristianos, a cultural reference to Moors and Christians, with beans and rice standing in for that contrast. You smell it in homes and busy tables everywhere. Number 12. Picadillo, ground beef with olives, sometimes raisins. This smells like ground beef simmering in tomato with spices. Then a briny olive note pops up and takes over the room. Picadillo comes from the idea of chopping, and in Cuba it is often made with ground beef, onions, peppers, and garlic as the base. Some homes add raisins, some add capers, and that one choice changes the whole aroma from savory only to sweet salty. It can sit beside rice and potatoes, or get tucked into empanadas and stuffed potatoes. Raisins in picadillo, yes or no? Number 11. Arroz con pollo, rice with chicken. This smells like chicken frying, garlic and peppers softening, and rice drinking up flavor left in the pot. A Cuban-style arroz con pollo often cooks rice in saved chicken fat, then adds stock and tomato sauce, and sometimes beer for depth. Saffron brings an earthy aroma that makes it instantly recognizable. Versions exist across Latin America, and some traces point through Spain, which helps explain the rice and spice logic. You smell it long before the lid comes off, and you can already picture the chicken perched on top. 10. Sopa de pollo, Cuban chicken soup. This smells like brown chicken and garlic rising from broth, with oregano and bay leaf making it feel like care. The key is the browning step, because it adds a roasted note before anything simmers. Then, onions, carrots, peppers, and potatoes build the base, often joined by cumin, coriander, and a little tomato paste for depth. Some people add noodles, others serve it with rice, but the smell keeps one promise: you are about to be steadied. You catch it on sick days and rainy afternoons, when supplies run low. Number 9. Fricasé de pollo, chicken stew in tomato sauce. This smells like citrus and garlic first, because the chicken marinates in mojo before it meets heat. Then it turns cozy as it stews in tomato with onions, bell peppers, potatoes, olives, and stock, plus cumin and coriander. The Cuban take nods to French fricassé, but swaps cream for a red sauce and darker chicken. You smell it filling the house slowly, the kind that sticks to curtains and pulls everyone closer. Put it on rice or tear Cuban bread for the sauce, and watch the pot empty without talking. 8. Vaca Frita, crispy shredded beef. This smells like beef hitting a hot pan after a lime and garlic bath, sharp, sizzling, and instantly hungry. Vaca Frita is boiled until tender, shredded, marinated with garlic, lime juice, and salt, then pan-fried until the edges go crisp. Onions and peppers often join the pan, turning sweet as the beef browns. You smell it, and people show up pretending they are only passing through. Serve it with white rice, black beans, and fried plantains, then finish with another squeeze of lime. It tastes like plates at abuelas. Number 7. Carne con papas, beef and potatoes stew. This smells like sofrito turning sweet in oil. Then, beef and potatoes simmering in tomato and white wine until the air feels thick. Garlic, onions, peppers, and tomatoes melt down first, building the foundation. Beef chunks add depth, and olives or capers can give a salty edge, while raisins add sweetness. The dish is also linked to Tenerife in the Canary Islands, a reminder of Spanish threads in Cuban cooking. You smell it on slow afternoons because it needs time, and it begs for rice to catch every drop too. 6 masitas de puerco, fried marinated pork chunks. This smells like garlic and citrus mojo clinging to pork, then getting louder the moment the pieces hit hot fat. Masitas de puerco are small chunks, marinated with cumin, oregano, and lots of garlic, then cooked for crisp edges and a juicy center. Some cooks boil the pork first, then fry, which keeps it tender while still giving that bite. You smell it at gatherings where people stand around the platter picking and talking. Serve it with rice, beans, and plantains, then finish with lime that cuts through the richness. 5 bistec de cerdo encebollado, pork steaks with onions. This smells like pork searing and onions browning down into sweetness. Simple, but impossible to ignore. The steaks get seasoned with garlic, cumin, oregano, salt, and pepper, or a citrusy Mojo variation. Then hit a hot pan for a crust. Onions cook alongside until they turn soft, soaking up the drippings and becoming the sauce. It is everyday home cooking, the kind you make when you want something hearty without committing to a roast. You smell it and start setting plates. Add rice or beans, and dinner is done fast. Number 4. Lechon asado, roast pork. This smells like pork roasting, while garlic and citrus adobo rides the air, with oregano and cumin making it feel like a holiday. Lechon asado is the big day centerpiece, especially for Noche Buena, when everyone plans around it. Many cook it in a caja china, a roaster that helps crisp the skin. The aroma starts with sour orange or citrus and garlic rubbed in, then grows richer as fat renders and the skin tightens. By the time you smell it outside, you already know you are staying. Comment bait, crispy skin or tender meat. Number 3. Buñuelos, fried cassava dough in syrup. This smells like fried dough, then anise and cinnamon syrup with orange drifting over everything, like the house just turned festive. Cuban buñuelos are often made with yuca, giving the dough more depth than plain flour. The moment the coils hit hot oil, the air turns golden and sweet. Then the syrup takes over. Licorice warmth from anise, comfort from cinnamon, brightness from citrus. You smell them around the holidays, at street stalls or kitchens, when dessert is also a memory. Do you like them drenched or lightly syrupy? Number 2. Flan, Cuban caramel custard. This smells like sugar rushing into dark caramel, then sweet milk rising behind it, and the kitchen knows dessert is happening. The caramel is the loud part, toasted candy in the air before the custard even chills. Cuban flan often uses condensed and evaporated milk, so the aroma lands richer, more bakery sweet than plain dairy. You catch it on weekends, birthdays, and restaurant trays sliding by with a caramel perfume tail. One whiff and you start saving space. Comment bait, jiggly or dense. Abuela cuts it clean, then smiles. Number 1. Ropa Vieja, shredded beef in tomato pepper sauce. This smells like beef simmering into shreds inside tomato, peppers, and onions, turning the air savory and sweet. Ropa Vieja is the final boss of smell-first cooking because it fills hallways before you see the pot. It traces back to the Canary Islands and became a Cuban staple by the 1800s. While it bubbles, the sauce thickens and the house feels safer, like time is doing its job. Serve it with rice, beans, and plantains, and the aroma becomes a complete story. Comment bait, extra peppers or extra onions. Now it is your turn. Which Cuban food do you smell before you see? The one that pulls you in from down the block? Drop it in the comments and tell us where you first learned it, a bakery, a ventanita, or your own kitchen. If you have a small rule like extra garlic, more citrus, or you have to eat it with a specific bread, share that too. Subscribe for more food stories that taste like home every week.